found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitches burning out. Lightning in a bottle. I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitches burning
Oh, whoa. Brandon, you're a fraud. You want to know that? You just started the recording without me even knowing. Like, I didn't even give my permission or my consent. You're a fraud, Brandon.
I agree.
Zoom asked. They said video.
Didn't ask me. Didn't say shit to me.
What?
It just went in there and started
It
recording.
stopped asking your permission. Wow.
Alex, what is Brandon? You tell me.
Fraud.
He's not a
We
first
need
choice
to talk
fraud,
about
though.
what consent means.
Fraudulent.
Zoom.
No. No, we need to talk about the first choice frauds in 2021 fantasy football. This is part 2 of the My Guys kind of segment type thing. We're going to do the contrary of the favorites, which are the frauds, the first choice frauds. And yeah, these are pretty much players that we don't want at all. We don't like, we don't want. Yeah.
Staying away.
Just keep your hands up. Don't look at them.
Keep moving. Keep it moving.
Keep progressing. So we got 3 players each. Alice will go first. Anything else before we do hop into this?
Nope. I'm ready to get these names going.
All right, man. Number 1, Juju Smith-Schuster.
I like it.
Just not about it this year. There's a few reasons. One, he had like 10 red zone targets last year. Or maybe it was end zone. I'm not sure. One of the two. Probably end zone. Regardless, he caught like 7 of them for touchdowns. That's just not going to happen. Like, that's not something you can count on. And I feel like he's found himself in a position where he's now the number 3 receiver on that team. Because Deontay's already above him, and I think Claypool's coming for his ass. I don't really like Juju's role in this offense. I feel like he's a secondary piece now, and I don't think he's going to be as efficient as he was. I don't know. His ADP is probably not ridiculous, but I'm not feeling it, man. Whatever it is, I'm not feeling it. Wide receiver 31. It's fine, man. I'll take some other gambles in that range.
Yeah, I would agree. I would not touch him. I mean, obviously the possibility of the offense having a lot of pass attempts like they have multiple years in the past.
Is there pass attempts? I just can't see like Deontay's going to get his, Claypool's going to get his, Najee's going to get work in the passing game.
And with the dude declining at quarterback, it's going to be risky business taking the last man of the bunch. That's why I'm honestly staying away from the tight ends of the group, because I don't see how much they're going to be utilized with the 3 talented receivers along with Najee. It's just going to be an interesting year for the Steelers, I feel like. Just to see year
Hopefully
2
bad.
with Ben coming back from that shoulder injury. So it's going to be interesting. But I think it's going to be bad interesting. Bad.
All right, Brandon. You got.
All right, I got a few petty picks. I made some nicknames up just because I was feeling it. Well, at the time, I was a little salty that 49ers let Wayne Gallman go, so not Bruce Wayne Gallman. But he's with the Falcons now. So
Brandon, you were like having an orgasm over that.
You know what? I'm gonna have to talk about it now because you brought it up. I had Cam Akers, Travis Etienne, and they both got hurt, leaving me with just my bench pieces where I thought I could just wait and find out what I had, but now I'm like, I need them now. So not that I think Wayne Gallman's gonna do shit, at least the beginning of the year. Besides the point, Brafraud Perryman, done with that. Going to Chicago, that's done for.
Done with that.
And Thaddeus lost, he's gone. Even Teddy, not Teddy.
Man, why are you hating on Thaddeus Moss? My man's just trying to get a job. You're the one that put ridiculous expectations on him. You're like, this guy that's just like a camping buddy is going to be a starting tight end.
They should have been met. Joe Burrow should have buddied up with him and really fought for his friend. That's his friend. Now he's lost. He's gone.
Brandon, how about you talk about?
All right, now I'm going to talk about my real picks. Okay, Henry Ruggs.
Brandon punching down the.
I dug a little deep in the wide receiver group. Wide receiver 49. However, there are still good wide receivers around this area. Like, get the fuck out of here. Why is Henry Ruggs wide receiver 49. When
Wide
Curtis
receivers do
Samuel
get
is
kind of
wide
trippy
receiver
to
51.
get that range.
What are you doing? They don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing. Callaway, my man, wide receiver 52. What's going on? Like, keep going. Like, literally, behind Ruggs is Hardman. That's fair. He should, yeah, whatever. I mean, Hardman's probably done more than him. Curtis Samuel, Callaway, Marvin Jones, Darnell Mooney, all those guys, I'd take over Ruggs. And then
What about his teammate?
Brian Edwards? I'd probably take Brian Edwards over him, honestly. And he's just, I mean, you got Jacoby Myers, Elijah Moore, you got Nelson Aguilar. I kind of like Nelson Aguilar, Russell Gage. It's just names upon names. And then you got this name. Oh, it's a first-round pick. Oh, okay.
Oh, Tyreek Hill. Oh.
Later on, dude, you're gone.
Every short guy is just Tyreek Hill now. Kadarius Toney, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's gonna be time. Alrighty. My first choice fraud is the tight end of the former MVP's team. Well, he's still the MVP to this day, but Robert Tonyan on the Packers. So that man caught about 8 touchdowns last year, maybe
16?
10, 16.
No, I said 60, but that's what it felt like.
He caught an absurd amount of touchdowns, and that's not going to happen again this year because Aaron Rodgers is not going to throw for 48 touchdowns, whatever the hell it was last year. So this year, definitely not going to get those touchdowns. He's getting drafted above Dallas Goedert. Don't want that. Getting drafted above Jonnu Smith. Also don't want that. Mike Gesicki even. I don't really like Mike Gesicki, but I still wouldn't want him over Mike Gesicki. People are hype about the man. This man's a one-year wonder, man. Like, he might do some small things this year. He might have a few blow-up games, but nothing compared to what he was last year. The expectations are way too high. It's not going to happen again. Don't draft Robert Tonyan. You're falling into a trap. I love when people send me their rosters and like, take a look at this. And I'm like, oh, you got some crazy running backs. Oh, and the wide receivers. You got Kyler Murray. No way. And I'm like,
was that my most recent draft I sent you?
What the hell is this tight end doing on the draft board right here? Why? Like, Jonnu Smith is going after Robert Tonyan. It's not like I'm saying like, oh yeah, I'd take Jonnu Smith like over Robert Tonyan if they were equal. Like, no, Jonnu Smith is like 5 rounds behind Robert Tonyan. I take him in both situations, to be honest. Just don't draft Robert Tonyan. And if I'm wrong about this, I'm wrong about this. It's a tight end that's not going to be have much impact on you anyway. But I'm just very, very, I just feel very strongly about this. Just please stop doing it. I can't express it.
I'm not even sure it's going to worth it because last year he would be like 4, 4, 4, 30, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
That too. Yeah, that too.
That one
so
week
if he were to have last
what
year.
about the other like month?
But let's be honest.
He might win you 3 games.
Those guys are doing the same thing, and those blow-up games are not as good. The only reason why I'm typically not willing to get Tonyan, but the reason why was that I was just thinking, the tight ends in that area, I didn't feel that the league I was in had a short bench. So rostering a second tight end is not plausible. And I don't feel comfortable running in with Gesicki.
That's why I draft Kittle.
Well, you stole my team. It was solid. So ending up with Tonyan was something I had to just do. And that same round, the guy I was going for was Logan Thomas. It was later in the draft. So, I was just trying to go for a dude that's shown it, who has just gotten the money, and Tonyan and Logan Thomas was hoping to get, but Tonyan was a consolation prize, I guess.
Consolation prize at best.
That prize. All right, let's move on here. I'm gonna go to my number 2. Kind of pains me, but I gotta go Chris Carson. I'm not in it for the long haul. He's like, I'm looking half PPR rankings. He's RB16. That's just too pricey for me, man. I don't like. Is he gonna make it 2 months? Like, I can't do it, man. I feel like every year he's battling injuries and like the tread is wearing thin. Like, sucks because like, guy's a great story, but like, He's been around for a while now. I just think there's better value later in the draft. Like, you could snag yourself a Josh Jacobs or DeAndre Swift or James Robinson lower than him according to these rankings. Or Miles Sanders, who I talked about in the other video. Or if you want to go even lower, you can get yourself like a Damian Harris or a Javonte Williams or Ronald Jones if you want to wait a few rounds. I don't like Carson, and I'd rather have one of the receivers. His health scares me. I don't like to not draft players because I don't know if they'll be there, but I don't know if they'll be there. I get that they want to run the ball a little bit more this season. I just don't know if it's all going to go to him.
I feel that. I'm probably overvaluing roster construction with the team, but they have 5 running backs on the final roster, and I think 5 wide receivers maybe. So they have a lot of running backs, and it kind of makes me interested or
prepared for
scared. Yeah, that too. But yeah, I think it's fair. Running back 16, you said, or 19, something like that.
16.
Yeah, 16. Yeah,
I just think there's better looks below.
I'm surprised that they kept
Swift,
that
especially.
Travis Homer. Is that the dude's name?
Homer, yeah.
He's like their best pass blocker or something.
Is he?
Yeah.
I guess that's the hope.
I guess.
Or the idea.
Like, yeah, he's reminds me of like those dudes on the Falcons and years past, like Ito Smith and Brian Hill, just there, just people.
Yeah.
Just an average human. Just okay, maybe not an average.
That
human.
was harsh. Jeez.
So he's a very above average.
They worked hard as shit to get to where they are, and they're just
their
average humans.
Like,
That might be a little shot, but no.
average NFL player.
I can understand a lot of these picks, but Chris Carson's probably the one that I'm questioning the most. Just because I've always been a Chris Carson fan. I get the injury concerns. But I think when he plays like a running back one, in my opinion. He's got that upside in his house of cards, and
but like the playoffs are at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Good point. That's a good point.
Pair him with Javonte Williams. Come on.
Or I could just draft a receiver.
All right.
Brandon.
Well, another dude that won't even come close to making it to your freaking championship game is Noah Fant. See, the feelings that you feel towards Tonyan is the feelings that I feel towards Fant.
But he's not going to catch 12 touchdowns this year?
That he's not going to do anything.
How many touchdowns did he catch last year?
Fant's fine. Yes, he's a good NFL tight end, but so is Jordan Reed. And I feel like this is just another Jordan Reed in the making. I swear to God, it is.
You're crazy.
He's literally already
So
hurt.
crazy.
He's already hurt. He hasn't stayed healthy a single
Name a tight end. Name a tight end who. Name your tight end, your favorite tight end, who's also constantly hurt. Jonnu Smith's always constantly hurt. Think about that. Just think about that. Think about the 400 yards he had last year receiving. That was it. That was it.
Closer to Fant is like Dallas Goedert. He's not always. Yes, he has dings and whatnot, but like that's a lot of tight ends. But Fant, it's like when he's hurt, he's just gone. He's just. He can't handle it. He's just
he left the building entirely.
But let's see. Is he already hurt? He probably is.
He's missed one game in the past 2 years. One game in the past 2 years. I would look at the game. Okay, 2 games. He played in one game with 8% of the snaps.
Well, then that must just mean he's just terrible then, because I feel like he hasn't done shit.
This is his 3rd season coming up.
There's no way he's only played one or missed one game.
He missed one game and then he left one game early.
Yeah, I mean, in the previous season, he had a few games with a really low snap share, but I don't know if that's because he's hurt or just because he's rookie.
Not digging Fant. Then it must just be an offense thing. The offense don't.
I think you just don't like Noah Fant. I think.
I think you're just against him in Dynasty, so you're gonna be against him in redraft.
Yes. Well.
I just don't get it.
I'm gonna slide him down to the thing that says petty picks.
Do that. Yeah, that is really petty.
Oh, he's injured.
He's hurt all the time.
Okay.
He's Jordan Reed 2.0.
He's Irv Smith. That's who he is.
What does that even mean?
How do you do that?
The hype is all around him.
He's only coming into his 3rd season.
Good, and then the team doesn't
use him to be like God by now.
Yes, he should have been God 2 years ago.
His rookie year. Oh my goodness. All right. Well, that's that.
Let's do a little pivot here.
Yeah, let's pivot to an actual fraud. Chase Edmonds.
I love this pick because I feel like I've been seeing him a
I
lot
thought
in like
about
the
doing
sleeper
Edmonds.
section, and I just love it.
Yeah,
Love the
he
differing opinion.
his position in the running backs is not that bad. The price you're paying for him, like running back 29, 30-ish. So it's like around Melvin Gordon-ish. I just don't know. I've never liked Chase Edmonds. James Conner's there, obviously. And I think they're gonna be passing a good bit. And obviously Kyler Murray is a good weapon on the ground. So it kind of does help Chase Edmonds to a point, but I don't think he's ever going to be that guy that people think. He's not that guy, pal. Is pretty much is what that's the thought. You say Chase Edmonds to me. That's thoughts going on in my head. I don't really have anything to say about this. I just don't like Chase Edmonds. This might be a petty pick.
I feel
I
like
agree.
based on what's happening in that offense, like he's lost ground from last season, which like, isn't a good sign.
Yeah.
Now, can
Especially
we
when
agree, just because I'm fucking things up already, can we agree that Chase Edmonds, he's a smaller back?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a small back. I just want to confirm. I feel like smaller backs, they either come in and they're great or they're at least used like they're good. Like, I feel like Myles Gaskin, he came on and he was being used. And he's smaller, and he was good enough to be used in the way they were using him. Alvin
Where are
Kamara
you
is
going with
obvious.
this?
He
I just
didn't
feel like
last.
Huh?
He
Gaskin?
didn't last.
Gaskin?
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, he got hurt.
He's still. What are you talking about? Gaskin's fine. He was fine the whole time. No, I feel like smaller backs are either good right away or not good, or not good, but like just average. It makes sense. These smaller backs don't. I feel like they don't progress
I
the
don't
way
even
you
know
would think. I don't know.
what you're
So
talking about.
what you're saying is if they don't start off hot, they're not going to be good ever. Is that
Are you
what you're
saying that if you're like under 5'11", you peak in your rookie year?
Is this heights? Okay, I'm just gonna shut up. But it reminds me of a scene from The League with Darren Sproles. If you guys remember that, you probably don't. But yeah,
I watched
You're,
the league, but I don't remember Darren Sproles being in it.
height supremacy is pretty much what it was. You're valuing players
Yeah.
based on their height,
Yeah.
and if that's what you're doing, that's a good strategy, Brandon. Good for you.
I'm not really sure
Yeah.
what you're talking about. So I'm just going to move on to my guy, which I feel like we say this every year, and I'm going to say it again. Mike Evans, I'm not fucking buying it, man. It's got to
He's
stop.
tall, so I'm buying him. So
You have to.
I mean, the thing is though, like that's not a bad option because that's why he keeps succeeding. Like he doesn't like get enough like catches or yards to be good. He just keeps catching all these fucking touchdowns because he's 6'5" and like he's wide receiver 13 right now. I don't like that. Him and Godwin are 13 and 15. I just don't think there's any possible scenario in which that actually plays out.
Yeah,
I just can't
agree.
see it. I can't see Tom Brady throwing like how many touchdowns did he have last year? Like a stupid amount.
40, I think. 38, 40, somewhere around there.
He had more than I feel like he's generally going to get.
Right.
I don't know if that's going to keep happening. I'm not buying the Mike Evans just continuously catching every single touchdown. And if it happens again, well then fuck it, it happens. Don't be wrong, but I'm not going to be the guy putting my money on.
I concur.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
All right. No. Tell us about David Montgomery. David Montgomery.
I have not been on a roll, but David Montgomery.
You should call him David Montgomery.
Montgomery.
David Montgomery.
Montgomery. He's a fraud because he gets set up with the easiest end of season schedule for a running back. And of course he blows up because he's not a bad running back. He's just not a great running back. And I feel like he pops off, and then ever since then, people have been looking at him like he's a great running back. I mean, and I just feel as if
ADP
any
is
other
15.
schedule.
He's like after all of the heavy hitters, but he's
15.
before some of the other guys.
I think he
who
should
could
be
stand
after
to-
Chris Carson, after
Chris
Miles
Carson's 16,
Sanders.
so
I don't have
After
a lot of
DeAndre
faith.
Swift.
I think after Swift. Yeah, I just don't have much faith in David Montgomery. We haven't spoken about him this way at all
him
until
and Andy
those
Dalton
last
together
6
is not
games.
a good.
I
is
feel
not
like-
a good pairing.
Definitely
yeah.
not in the early season.
It's very bad.
I mean, I think once
Especially
Justin
'cause their
Fields
line still
comes in, I
sucks.
think play action it
that
might
could
be
grow.
beneficial to him. But I just don't. We haven't talked about him this way at all. And he has those 6 games, and all of a sudden he's great. He should be above these better guys, in my opinion. And he's a fraud, and you'll know that too by the end of the season.
I concur.
It never occurred to me how rough that Dalton, Dalton.
I mean,
I
you
kinda
saw
understand
Ezekiel Elliott with
Not
Dalton.
putting Fields out there because that line does suck. You might think well, the early part of their schedule is pretty tough, so you might think you know what, Andy, good luck, because you're gonna face the brunt of this. And yeah, I mean Montgomery might just be getting ran over as well.
I agree.
All right,
Alrighty.
one more.
The
name.
last first choice fraud is none other than Will Fuller. It rhymed in my head. It didn't rhyme out loud. But Will Fuller has yet to practice. I think he may have practiced recently. By the time we see this video, he probably practiced lightly. But this man hasn't practiced on a new team with a quarterback that was one of the most conservative quarterbacks and most inaccurate quarterbacks last year, with an offensive line that is still doo-doo. I'm not doubting the man's skill and his talent, but the fact that he's injured still, suspended for the first game, if I do believe correctly.
Yeah.
And a bunch of things are just not going right for him. Unless Deshaun Watson gets over there and his case is clear, then he'll be on the same wavelength as quarterback. But he has no experience with Tua. He's going to a team, obviously. You have Jalen Waddle. You have no other really deep weapon. I mean, you have a bunch of deep weapons. I don't know what I'm saying here. But Will Fuller, I just don't believe in him. I think he's like a wide receiver 30-something. As a matter of fact, 43. Okay, so I guess the value is not terrible.
Ahead of Waddle at 44.
I don't know. I've never been a big fan of Will Fuller just because availability is the best ability. And
that's my big thing.
His boom games are nice. They're really helpful, but when? And especially in an offense that you really have no clue what the hell's going to happen there. I don't know. I'm not too high on it.
I don't hate him as a sleeper pick, but Tua and the Dolphins in general just does scare me. And the fact that he hasn't played football and I don't even remember when.
Yeah, but I mean, let's never stop them before because he's usually not playing football because he's injured.
Sure. And he just gets out there and just
he is
run straight.
He is
gonna get hurt?
a really good wide
because he
receiver
hasn't
when
been
he's
playing.
healthy.
He's gonna practice for 1 week, come in the game, they just get railed.
Probably.
I don't
But then
know
he'll
why,
come back
but
80-yard touchdown.
I don't know why, but I've been up and down on Waddle all off season. I've been Waddle's not going to do very good with this team, and then the next week I'm Waddle's going to do great. Now I'm thinking he's going to do really good.
Well, you know what? We're a few weeks from finding out. So
yeah, few weeks.
And the next episode we'll be talking about some sleepers.
Few days.
Some sleepers. Yeah, well,
That's
it's
true.
a couple weeks for us. So you got to give him more than 1 game, at least 2 games before he's a bust.
Well, the first games there's no Will Fuller.
Just like Brandon, first choice fraud.
No.
Brandon, sing us out.
Favorite.
So
I'm a favorite.
Sing us out.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, do it all.
F.
There's no melody to that.
F.
I never said I was going
F.
to put melody. I was just,
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
Pay forever.
First choice frauds signing out. Deuce.
later.